I can give you another. Really, I was expecting a phone call from her so we could follow up, but we did go ahead and inspect, and we've got the final pictures before and after. We can't identify anything that's abnormal on a paint job on a house, other than there was a little bit of paint that was overspread on the grass. The grass was cut, that was remediated. I believe there was some paint on one of your light fixtures on the exterior, and the contractor replaced that, as far as I'm aware. There was some existing overspray on the rooftop on top of the water heater, but that was pre-existing from the project. We're not aware of any other damage. And we can talk about
let me, Ms. Morris, do you mind talking to Mr. Roberts if you have any more issue, if you can just sign back up and just come back and visit us again and just let us know. And if Mr. Roberts, you can just follow up with Ms. Morris and make sure things follow up correctly. Right. Thank you so much, Ms. Morris, for coming.
Janae Coley with Opportunity for Entertainers.
How y'all doing?
Morning.
Kalinsky Adams, 1623 East Greenbrier, Mobile, Alabama, 36605. Also representing Opportunity for Entertainers, 1111 East I-65 Service Road, 36606. How everybody doing? Mayor, City Council. I am Kalinsky Adams, also known as DJ Dirty Dan, and I wanted to come talk to you guys and make some awareness about this summer. This summer, we have the 15th annual Alabama Hip Hop Week happening, and the 5th year for MOB Music Fest. Alabama Hip Hop Week is a community outreach week where we go through the community and have a series of events talking about mental health, making awareness about gun violence and different things that are happening. So today I'm here to ask for your support and also put your community on notice because this year is a community tour. As the 15th year and the fifth year MOB Music Fest is happening. I wanted to make sure, I know I talk kind of loud. I want to make sure everybody in Mobile knew about this because it's very important. There's a lot of things been happening in our community. Being a radio personality for over 20 years and being in this community all of my life, I feel compelled to come out and do something in the outreach and awareness space. So to the City Council, Mayor, I gave you kind of the list of the community outreach that we're going to do. And if you notice, we'll be in Cathedral Square, July 8th through 11th, along with Art Walk on Friday, and then Saturday, and then Sunday. As we get into Hip Hop Week, on July 12th, we'll be going to Newhouse Park, the Teen Center. We're going to be targeting the age group from 13 to 19, where we're inviting the entire family out. On July 13th, we'll be going to Figures Park. And this is for the entire family. We'll have the pool open, the basketball court open, and the entire gym open. On July 14th, we'll be going to Hillsdale Community Center. We partner with Parks and Recs. They will be busing all summer camp kids to us from noon to 4 because it's summer camp. And then on July 16th, we'll be headed to the city of Pritchard. And the motto will be pushing peace. We have community partners that are joining us, such as Mobile Health Department and Project Thrive. We will also make an awareness for other people to be a part and join. But I wanted to make sure that I got in front of the city council because I know this is the place so the word can get out that we're coming back to take our community this summer. So July 8th, July 7th through 17th, is the community tour in the city of Mobile. And I just want to say thank y'all for the opportunity to speak today. And your support is very much needed. And thank you so much.
And thank you so much, DJ Dirty Dan, for all the hard work that you have done in our community. And my office looking to support, this great event. Also, if you can send our city clerk a PDF file,
Yes.
so we can put in our newsletter, so we can spread this throughout the city within our council e-letters.
All right, thank you so much.
Okay,
Mr. President,
Mr. Davis.
I think I told Mr. Adams I'm going to send him some money. I'm not exactly sure where that is, where we are on that, but I'm going to give you some money out of my discretionary funds. I support what you're doing. You're
I
doing great.
appreciate you so much.
Mr. President,
Yeah, Mr. Penn.
again, DJ Dirty Dan, thank you for coming out. My office would definitely be supporting as well. Recently, we just had an 11-year-old that was killed in our city, and it's sad, and we need to do something. So for you and your organization pushing peace, we need this. We need more organizations going out in our communities and our cities, and we got to figure this thing out together. So thank you so much for what you're doing, and I definitely support.
Yeah, and I just want to say one thing. The most important thing for me to let people know that it's about symbolism. It's about us coming together as a community and showing people this is our city, and we live in Mobile, and we want Mobile to be safe. But at the same time, we got to understand that we got to make sure we get the resources and the communication and understanding to the community so they can know the resources that they do have. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
Robert Clopton Sr.
Morning.
Morning.
I'm Robert Clopton, 2612 Charlotte Oaks Drive, Mobile, 36695. To the council, administration, citizens of Mobile. It's always my prayer that the words of my mouth and the meditations of my heart are acceptable to my Lord, who is my strength and my redeemer. We are done with thoughts and prayers. Before our hearts could even process the full extent of the pain of Buffalo, our hearts were dealt another unconscionable blow by the horrors of last week at the elementary school in Uvalde, Texas. In the past 2 weeks, we've had over 7 mass shootings throughout the U.S. of A. Those shootings have taken places in churches, schools, outdoor gatherings, grocery stores, concerts, gas stations, and the like. The places that we frequent for enjoyment, recreation, worship, and even education have been attacked. And most recently, an 11-year-old perished from guns in Mobile just last night. While the NAACP or the NAACP extends our thoughts and prayers to all who have been affected by these senseless killings, we continue to demand action from our lawmakers. It is their duty. It is their duty to ensure the safety of our children, our families, and our communities, that our local law enforcement have the necessary equipment and funds it needs to do so. See, we are shattered. We are heartbroken. And sometimes we get furious, but we're never broken. The reign of terror of gun violence cannot continue. This crisis demands immediate action. The NAACP refuses to stand by and allow this preventable threat of gun violence to terrorize our communities any further. Our first step was our second annual Project Wear Orange. On Friday, June 3rd, 2022, the NAACP will hold a second annual Project Wear Orange right here at Government Plaza. We will meet, we will seek to emphasize the urgency of this grave matter. Gun violence is an epidemic. All citizens of Mobile and participants are requested to wear orange. It could be a tie. It could be a pin. It could be a ribbon. But wear orange to show that you are in support of eliminating and stopping gun violence in our great city. Being mission-driven, as we are. Everyone must understand that as NAACP members, we do nothing out of selfish ambition or vain conceit. However, we humble ourselves and put others before us. Thank you.
Thank
Jada McElroy.
you. Ms. McElroy, present.
Jihad Irby.
Mr. Irby,
Anna Bush.
Good morning. My name is Anna Bush. I live at 21 Bienville Avenue, 36606. And I am here in support of an item that may actually be on the agenda elsewhere, but I got on before I saw the agenda. Resolution 09470. As I understand it, among other things, this resolution authorizes the transfer of funds in anticipation of the issuance of an RFQ for the design of an animal shelter. And to attract quality bids, having the funding in place is going to be very important. So I'm very much in support of that aspect of this resolution. No doubt the facility currently is inadequate, inappropriate, and frankly insulting for modern city service. At least three reports since 2016 have said so, and all agree that patching and papering will not remotely suffice. The footprint, the buildings, the elevation are all woefully inadequate for even the basic level of service provided now. A proper shelter is not just a basic building with kennels. It is and must be a central point of resources for all things animals. The report that you all got very beginning of this year talks about how it's a place where all things animals can come together. Adopters, rescues, TNR, people who have lost or found an animal, people who need a license, people who need help with spay and neuter, people who need help with animal training, people looking to volunteer. An appropriate physical plant is absolutely necessary for these things to move forward. Animal services is a new moniker, and providing services is absolutely impaired by the circa 1965 facility and its myriad cobbled-on additions. A rabbit warren of disjointed buildings, all inadequate and outdated, stands as an impediment, even a hazard for employees, volunteers, and citizens. An animal services facility is a very specific structure, requiring space for animal care, vet care, field and community services, adoption, offices, outdoor space for play. It must be built of proper materials, extremely durable, easy to sanitize. More than any other city building, this will be akin to a hospital and should be given such resources. Design for this is a very specific field. It cannot be a regular architect or designer. It must be someone with specialized understanding and experience of the need for extensive sanitation, extensive drainage, specialized HVAC, generators, life safety for situations where evacuation of animals and people is not possible, which is an ordinary hurricane. The mechanical systems have to be super heavy duty, laundry, generators, power washers, and safe enough to shelter in place. This is a complex and time-consuming project. We need to start on it yesterday, but today is as good as we've got. Getting the funds allocated for design is imperative. Please help move this forward now. There are many worthy priorities in this city. This one is long, long overdue. And those helping the animals and the animals themselves deserve that we move forward now. Thank you.
thank you.
Reverend Clinton Johnson. Connie Hudson. Commissioner Connie Hudson.
Well, good morning, President Small, members of the council, Mayor Stimpson. It's a pleasure to be here today, and I wanted to take, and I guess I should, for the record, give my address, 2128 Pine Needle Drive East. I wanted to be here today on behalf of the County Commission to thank you for your consideration of Resolution 09469, funding for the Aquatic Center as well as the soccer complex at the Sportsplex on Halls Mill Road. This is such an important endeavor. I think you all understand what this means to the community. And this partnership between the City of Mobile and the County Commission to make this, to bring this to fruition is so vitally important. You know, there are a couple of things. First of all, these facilities are needed and have been for decades, really. It will go a long way in serving the needs of the citizens throughout the City of Mobile and each one of your districts, and really at the county at large. And I think the second thing is it helps Mobile stay competitive. I mean, we are in a very competitive environment, especially with other urban areas, other urban markets. We see that every day with site selection and with business and industry. And part of what these industries look for is a quality of life. And so we need to be a well-rounded community. And I think having the athletic facilities for youth sports, to be able to provide our swim teams and our soccer clubs with the opportunity to actually have tournaments in the City of Mobile as opposed to having to go out of county and out of state. That is so very important. And I appreciate your vision and your support in partnering. We don't have the funding all together yet, but we are getting there. We are well on our way, and I can see the end of this tunnel. I can. It's been a while, but we are most definitely getting there, and we're still working on this in phases. I think the aquatic center is probably, because it's the cost is not as much as the soccer complex. We're on a faster track to get that completed sooner. So anyway, I just wanted to say thank you, Mayor Stimpson, for your response from this and making sure it's on the agenda, and Jim for all your work, and of course to all of you. Thank you again.
I believe Commissioner Hudson, I stated earlier in pre-conference that we appreciate you. Councilman Jones has stated that we will get our money back, and I agree with him. We will get our money back, and I also stated that I support it because you are a great visionary, not only for the county, for the City of Mobile. The city is inside of the county of Mobile.
This is true.
And we do appreciate your leadership. That you have not only just given towards the time that you was on council, but the time that you serve on the county commission. Again, we do appreciate your leadership that you have given towards the city and also the county of Mobile.
Thank you for those kind words.
Mr. President.
Mr. Reynolds.
Commissioner Hudson, thank you for your commitment to investment into the city of Mobile, along with the other commissioners. I certainly appreciate the vision and support that you're putting into the soccer complex, now the aquatic center, and now potentially, if we get some good respondents, maybe a aquatics park, a water park of sorts. We also have McGowan Park that's nearby, and there is tremendous opportunity that exists there. And we have the Linksman Golf Course, which the county has got into. And so this area is a hot spot, and I look forward to your continued partnership in all of these areas and right in the heart of District 4. So thank you again.
So since I was bragging about your vision there, what's the percentage of the chances of the water park now?
Very good chances. We had the feasibility study completed, and we've signed a contract with Hotel and Leisure Advisors. They will be our consultants. They know the people in the industry, and so they're going to do the outreach and request for proposals and vet any potential partners that are interested in the size and the scope of the work that would be involved at our complex. So I think probably by the end of the summer we should have We should be much closer than we are now, but, I have high hopes to get this completed.
Yeah, Councilman Daves and Councilman Carroll and Councilman Penn, we're going to work on our beach bodies.
Okay. I'll do my very best.
Mr. President, Commissioner, before you go, I just want to join my colleagues in thanking you for your leadership and follow through for making this happen. You're right, for decades we've needed this kind of a complex, and I'm just really happy to see it beginning to come to fruition. And I get calls a lot from the competitive swimmers in my district and nearby who are looking for that pool. They're going to be so excited to be able to have the aquatic center, and I know people throughout the city will be as well. And of course, it does make sense. We are in the city of Mobile. You're bringing this facility to the city of Mobile, so it makes sense for us to partner on this, and I just appreciate all that you do.
Mr. President?
Mr. Jones?
Yeah, I'd be remiss if I didn't just chime in here, because, what this really brings to, we hear all the stories of violence in our communities. A lot of that in our youth is because they don't have things to do, and they find periods of boredom, and they search for things to do that often leads them down the wrong paths. Team sports was very big for most of us when we were kids, if you were my age, and we had the city parks and the ability to go play team sports and be actively, positively involved. And we have gaps in this city for many of those sports. And I think with the soccer complex and the aquatic center that you've envisioned years ago, this is not just something that popped up, and I think people see this and it's like, well, it's a great idea. I think there's been years of work and effort that's been dedicated to this. It doesn't just happen overnight. So thank you for that and the hard work. We're not there yet, but I think we're close. And the real winners to this isn't just the city, but it's the youth that are going to be taking part in these team sports and having something positive to fill their time with. So thank you very much for that.
Thank you.
Walter Mora regarding ordinance 64017. Ramsey Sprague regarding ordinance 64017.
My name is Ramsey Sprague. I reside at 63 South Fulton Street, 36606. I come today to came for several reasons. I feel compelled, however, to lean into what I'm feeling right now, which is a lot of anxiety and dread about the moral crisis that we find ourselves in as a country. And permit me to wax poetic momentarily. It's not every day that those that are in y'all's positions get the opportunity to weigh in on complex moral issues that run against perhaps long-seated dogmas in how we are to conduct business, to relate to one another as individuals, as interested parties, to dive deep into the identities that color and flavor where we come from and how we relate, right? The gun issue is one of those issues that I feel like we're facing right now that is extremely important, and although it doesn't directly relate to zoning, I wanted to draw that direct line because the deference to powers that are higher than us in this chamber to do something, sometimes they're not there. And that is the case when dealing with issues of pollution in Alabama. We want to believe that our partners at the Alabama Department of Environmental Management are fully suited, fully powerful, and able to conduct the business that they are tasked with. 2 weeks, however, the US EPA rescinded a permit that Alabama Department of Environmental Management issued for the UOP LLC facility. That's one of 5 facilities located in the Africatown community that are called major source of pollution. Those Title V Clean Air Act major source operating permits are serious. We're talking tens to hundreds of tons of toxic pollution emitted every year at each one of those facilities. The EPA is not convinced that ADEM is able to do its job. So we're faced with a moral quandary, right? What is the right thing moving forward for Africatown, for the communities that are dealing with low quality air, whether it be Africatown, down the bay, 8 Mile, et cetera, in our region? We want to believe that the powers above us are doing the right thing and able to do the right thing, but if they don't have the tools that necessary, they can't. Zoning is a tool that y'all have. The reason we're in this situation today is because councils before you did not do the right thing with zoning for Africatown. We have an opportunity to do the right thing with the safe zone. I want to encourage y'all. Thank y'all.
Terry Mitchell regarding 09470.
Good morning. Terry Mitchell, 117 West Holly Court. I'm really thrilled that the animal shelter is progressing. This is great. I just want to mention that a shelter architect named Martha Seng, S-E-N-G, designed the Gulfport shelter years ago, and her innovative designs have stood the test of time. Her firm is on Jackson and Ryan. She has a new firm, but her old firm is Jackson and Ryan. And these people might be considered as the shelter architects for the new shelter for Mobile. And I just want to mention that and thank you for getting this underway. It's great. I really support this transfer of money to get this thing going. Thank you.
Reggie Hill regarding 64017, 09469, 09470, 01033, and 21478.
Thank you, Madam City Clerk. Before we begin, I want to take this time to congratulate Ms. Marianne Merchant on her retirement. I'm wishing her the best as she moves forward. To the citizens and stakeholders of Mobile, good morning. Reggie Hill, 1007 Center Street. I rise today to address those matters articulated by the City Clerk. I'll begin with 64017. I had some notes prepared myself, but much like my friend Mr. Sprague, I believe I'm going to speak to each of these items still, but from more of a personal place. I want to ask, is there anything that's in the current language of the UDC that would prevent the final decisions being made regards to planning and zoning from the legislative body of the municipal government? There was some talk in the previous presentations of this that some responsibilities will be eliminated from the legislative branch. I just want to make sure that that's been clear before moving forward. Seeing that, I believe this is item 41485 is coming to the agenda. So I'll reserve my remarks fully about this, specifically dealing with Africatown, like Minister Brazier has shared before, to that time frame during that public hearing. I want to move on to 09469 and 09470. It's great to see Commissioner Hudson here today. That's a band parent of mine, so there's a great deal of respect that I have for her and have had it for many years since high school. Nonetheless, as we've seen time and time again here, I want to see the same enthusiasm that we move funds around for these materialistic projects on the issues that are actually concerning our people. I'm not saying that we don't have the money. I'm not saying it's not important to look towards the next generation. I'm not saying it's not important to examine how we can increase our revenue, particularly with the reports that we received today. I understand how urgent that is to do that. Nonetheless, if we do not have the same enthusiasm towards the issues that truly matter in the city, it'll all be for naught. You can come up here and present it different every single week. It'll all be for naught. Same thing, 09470. We're talking about $11.3 million. People are starving, without homes, getting shot in the streets weekly, about to get ready to charge them to go into recreation centers for the summer. We waited to the last minute to find lifeguards. Yet we want to transfer $11.3 million of the taxpayers' resources when people are coming out here telling you about their suffering. It's like every week, you just put it on the back burner. Like it doesn't matter. So because of the time restraints, next week I'm going to come back and finish the other remarks that we had about what I was going to speak on before. But I will say this piece, that 01033, why would we continue fighting when the representation is at the state that it is? It's like coming down here speaking to brick walls at times. And you're supposed to be representing these people. Taxpayer dollars. You are stewards. It's not your money. This is ours. Thank you on the floor.
Thank you. A reminder, artists now do applause, please. Thank you.
Ordinance is held over.
Yeah, come on. Just the one that had stepped out before.
Oh. Mr. Moore.
Walter. Good morning, Mobile City Council, ladies and gentlemen. I want to thank you for this opportunity. My name is Walter Moore. I live at 411 Chin Street, Magazine Point, Alabama. And I'm here regarding the safety zone, environment, racism around Africa Town. But before I get started, I want to thank my Lord and Savior and thank Mobile Environmental Justice, AACA, or CP, Ramsey Sprague and Joe Womack and his staff. And I'd like to thank the Africa Town Heritage Foundation, Mr. Angela Flynn, for encouraging Vulcan material and Holder Weaver for asphalting the easement behind my house. I live it every day with Vulcan and Holder Weaver. I'm here about the safety zone. If we had a safety zone before, we wouldn't be going through the thing we were going through out there in Africa Town. Yeah. Smelling asphalt. I have headaches every day just from the odor. And then we have the shelter in place. You can't go out there. If you do, I think you're putting yourself in danger. We are in danger. So let me continue on. Every time I hear Jose Weaver's name, I get a little upset. I'm trying to hold my composure and go through this thing. Because of me, I go around and lock the door. Because, never mind. I'm telling you something they really do. I'm getting off point. They come in at night, slamming their tailgates, and I try to call the non-emergency number for the police to come out there. I guess to no avail. And then when they slam in the gates, I guess they're trying to dump the old asphalt out or something, and it shakes. I guess that's a new device on the dump trucks. And and then some nights we try to sleep in between the sounds. Just every night. But last night was pretty peaceful. Let me get on about Vulcan. That's enough about him. Well, I know I ain't got but a minute. But anyway, I just want to invite you guys out there and see what I'm going through. And then put yourself in my place. And I know you guys have a piece of property right down Chin Street. If you could, build a home there. And each one of you guys spend 3 months there. And you won't hear from me again. Thank you.
Ordinances held over. 64017, ordinance to adopt the City of Mobile Unified Development Code.
Motion to lay over 1 week.
Second. Properly moved and second. Any discussion?
Mr. President, just a brief discussion. There appears to be some consensus here on the Africa Town safe zone. At 5:30 Friday afternoon, it seemed that we were at 100% agreement with everybody, but as things happen, at Sunday, somewhere around 3 o'clock in the afternoon, we found that we had another hurdle to hop. So we're in the process of finding some type of resolution and agreement with the last hurdle in order to get the safety zone implemented to where it is amenable to everybody. hopefully between now and this Friday or this Thursday before the new agenda is printed, that we will have something in place to where everyone that is involved with this is in some type of agreement of implementing a safety zone around Africatown. I think we all agree that this community has been in need of some type of safety zone for a long time, and we are close. So please continue to be patient as we work our way through this last little hurdle as we look at the finish line.
Any other discussion? Thank you, Mr. Carroll. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Madam Clerk.
06030, ordinance to amend Chapter 6 of the Mobile City Code, ambulances and other medical transportation.
Move to hold over 1 week.
Second.
Properly moved in second.
Oh, what was properly moved in second?
Lay over 1 week.
Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Item laid over for 1 week.
64031, rezone property located at 62, 88, 100, and 116 Hillcrest Road from R1 and LB2 to B2.
So moved.
Properly moved in second. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Item passed.
Resolutions held over. 01468, authorize assignment and assumption agreements between the City Merchants Alabama LLC and Lineage Logistics. 09469, authorize transfer of funds from general fund surplus to capital improvements fund, the City of Mobile County, for the Mobile County Soccer Complex. 09470, authorize transfer of funds from the general fund to capital improvements fund, various capital projects. 21471, authorized contract with Geosyntec for design and engineering services for the redevelopment of stormwater infrastructure at Langham Park. 21472, authorized contract with Johnson Controls for server replacement at Mobile, Alabama Cruise Terminal.
So moved.
Second.
Properly moved in second. Any discussion?
Yes, sir, Mr. President.
And Mr. Reynolds?
Again, to Commissioner Hudson, thank you for your investment in the city. This is a small, I think, token of what the whole project's going to cost.
Excuse me, Mr. Reynolds.
Yeah.
Please, at this time, I ask if anyone has any type of electronic device, put on the off or the vibrator position. Please put your electronic device on the off or the vibrator position. I'm sorry, Mr. Reynolds.
No problem. Thanks again. And this is a good deal for us, I believe. This money, I think, is going to be returned to us tenfold. Also, on to the constituents out there that are listening, item 09470, as part of this allocation of money, there's approximately $250,000 going to long overdue drainage repairs needed in the Cypress Shores community. We hope this is the starting point of something much bigger that we can address the drainage issues that have existed there for decades. And this will go towards figuring out exactly what those problems are so that we can take necessary steps to improve the quality of life for everyone in that lower lying community. Thank you, Mr. President.
Any other discussions? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Item passes.
Ordinance is being introduced, 57032 through 01033.
By council rules, this will lay over for 1 week.
Consent resolutions being introduced, 03474 through 58477.
Move to waive the rules in order to consider these resolutions immediately.
Second.
And properly moved in second. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Madam Clerk.
03474, reappoint Kevin Alexander to the Mobile Civic Center Advisory Board. 37475, recommend approval to the ABC Board for issuance of a restaurant retail liquor license for Chuck E. Cheese's on downtown or Loop West. 58476 and 477 are assessing costs for removal of weeds, Wheatland Group 1625, and Repeat Group 55.
So moved. Second.
And properly moved in second. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Item passes.
Resolutions being introduced, 21478 through 47482.
For council rules, these will lay over for 1 week.
Call for public hearings, 41483. Call for public hearing to consider approval of a certificate of public convenience and necessity to Modern Transport to operate a taxi cab service scheduled June 14th. 41484. Call for public hearing to consider approval of a certificate of public convenience and necessity to Andra Dennis to operate a shuttle service scheduled June 14th.
So moved.
Second.
Properly moved and second. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Public hearing is called.
41485. Call for public hearing to consider adoption of the Mobile Unified Development Code to replace the current zoning ordinance, Chapter 64 of the Mobile City Code, scheduled June 28th.
Motion to table.
Second.
Properly moved and second. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Items tabled.
Announcements.
All right. District 4, Councilman Reynolds.
Thank you, Mr. President. The Rules Committee will be meeting at 1 o'clock in the council conference room to discuss the process we will use to consider people to do a racial polarization study relating to reapportionment. And that's it. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you, Mr. Reynolds. Councilman in District 1.
Thank you, Mr. President. We will have a entitlement committee meeting today, right after the Rules Committee meeting as well. Just inviting everyone to come out. We'll be discussing the Gafers project. I also will have a community meeting on next week, matter of fact, June the 7th, and it will be held at Centerpoint Church on I-65. So we're inviting all of the District 1 residents to come out to our community meeting. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you, Mr. Ken. Here from District 2, Councilman William Carroll.
Thank you, Mr. President. Tonight at Stewart Memorial at 6 p.m. is the last in a series of community meetings discussing redistricting, blight, restoration of property, the city's land bank, and those other issues. If you have any questions or any concerns, please come out tonight at 6 p.m. at the Stewart Memorial CME Church on Martin Luther King Avenue. That's again 6 p.m. tonight. Looking forward to seeing everyone. I know that this process has been long, but now we're down to the bottom end of it, so I look forward to seeing you guys.
Thank you, Mr. Carroll. District 6. Thank you, Mr. Jones. District 5.
No announcements.
Thank you, Mr. Davis. Vice President Gregory, District 7.
Thank you. Just a couple of announcements. Last Thursday, I met with a good group of Community Action Group and Homeowners Association presidents to discuss various issues and projects and needs within their communities. This was the first of what I hope will be regularly scheduled meetings with these presidents to go over things. So I just want to thank them for attending, also the staff for being there and helping to put everything together. It was a good group, and we heard a lot of good information and some very similar issues and concerns throughout the district that we will be addressing. So thank you for that. Also, tomorrow morning, bright and early, I will be out at Ziegler Boulevard at the first phase of Ziegler near the fairgrounds. We will be officially opening that segment of roadway. Of course, it's been open for some time, but we just have yet to make it official. So everybody's invited out 8 o'clock a.m. tomorrow morning to see us in action out there on Ziegler, right there by the fairgrounds. You can park if you would like to come out and join us, but it's exciting to make it official. If you've driven Ziegler, you know that we are making great progress on the entire roadway. It's a little painful at times, but I think it's all working out very well. We're making good timing on it. So thank you, and I look forward to seeing the mayor and staff tomorrow morning.
What time?
8 o'clock.
8 o'clock. Congratulations.
Yeah.
Anything from the administration? Okay. Can I get a motion to adjourn this meeting?
Motion to adjourn.
Properly moved and second in discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? This meeting is